Before we let the computer start up again, please allow me to conduct a real-time, very quick market research by kindly raising your hand if you are social media users, which means if you use like LinkedIn or Facebook or anything like that. So please do it. Okay, I guess we are around 90+% of the participants in this room. Thank you very much. That was very, very good. We'll come back to it. As of today, we have, or more prudently maybe as of last night, in the InsurTech space, we had 974 startups spread across a well-articulated and complex environment. That's why the first question that we asked to the participants to the survey was, what is the most relevant area of the InsurTech? And the areas that we proposed were the following. Need awareness, which include activities that generate awareness in the client regarding the need to be insured. Choice, which is about insurance value proposition, which in turn is divided in two main groups, the aggregators, who are characterized by the comparison of a large number of different solutions, and the underwriters who are innovating the way to construct the offer for the specific client. The purchase, which focuses on innovative ways of selling, including a collection of premiums. Use of the insurance product, which involves three very distinctive steps of the insurance value chain: the policy handling, the service delivery, and the claims management. Okay, that was a question. Okay. And then connected insurance Internet of Things, which is a transversal category including all hardware and software solutions that allow the use of sensors to collect data on the state of an insured risk, telematics for its transmission and data utilization across the insurance value chain. And last, peer-to-peer, which includes all emerging initiatives that have started to bring the peer-to-peer logic to the insurance environment in a way similar to the old mutual insurance. So according to respondents, the most relevant area of InsurTech is connected insurance. This is not really surprising. According to a preliminary release of a study jointly developed by Venture Scanner together with the Connected Insurance Observatory, connected insurance initiatives represent 30% of startups, but have gathered an astonishing 80% of InsurTech funding. Online purchase continues to be deemed as very relevant, although such promise is everything but new and has yet to materialize such great expectations. What we found thought-provoking is the fact that need awareness is an area which creates great interest, but still attracts very few startups. This could be a great opportunity where I don't really have any significant insight, and therefore I hope to hear opinions and ideas in the next 2 days. Due to its relevance moving forward, we're focusing on connected insurance. Hence, the next question we asked to the participants to the survey was, what are the most important benefits of connected insurance? And a bit of frameworking here as well. So the proposed answers were the following. So risk selection as telematics can be used to select risks at an underwriting stage. In fact, risks subject to steady monitoring through telematics indirectly discourage the purchase from risky clients, hence limiting adverse selection and fraudulent intents. Risk-based pricing as through telematics, a constant monitoring of the quantity and level of risk exposition has become possible with a direct impact on pricing applied to the single customers. Value-added services, which consist in the proposition of clients of policy-related services based on telematic data. For instance, the use of car anti-theft systems through installed black box or the provision of emergency services with automatic claim detection for home or health insurance. Loss control. As telematics allow the use of data detected by sensors to make the claim management process faster and more efficient by optimizing claim evaluation, improving fraud detection, and disposing of more information during eventual in-court processes. And last, behavioral steering loyalty system. Behavioral programs are approaches that exploit information gathered on customers' behaviors to nudge clients towards less risky solutions. To this end, a reward system that incentivizes safe behaviors can be provided and include a broader spectrum of behaviors besides those recognized by telematics. So this is the feedback from the respondents. And I have to admit, we found it a bit surprising. In fact, although the potential of risk-based pricing is enormous, with, we all know the news and Metromile from US that just completed a $200 million round of financing to pursue vertical backward integration, which is by an insurer, right? Reaping the benefits of risk-based pricing is everything but obvious. The same applies to behavioral steering and loyalty systems, where despite the great visibility of behavioral steering programs, their capacity to significantly impact the insurance bottom line in the long term is still to be demonstrated. And most initiatives, after the hype of programs that include wearable devices, struggle to maintain traction and stickiness by customers. On the contrary, risk selection and loss control seem to be, in our humble opinion, underestimated. In Italy, where the penetration of car insurance is 16%, with 4.8 million policies, with a value proposition which includes telematics, they show, these kind of policies show a 20% lower risk-adjusted claim frequency. Claim management cost is also significantly lower when a policy has a value proposition linked to telematics. In fact, preliminary informal analysis conducted by ANIA, the Association of Italian Insurers, on Blacksbow data show that insurances can send twice the number of vehicles to affiliated car shops and significantly reducing the average cost per claim. The next question we asked was, what is the current maturity stage of connected insurance? And these are the results that explain why coming here to this conference was a good investment, as only 2% of respondents believe connected insurance is a fad that will never produce a relevant and long-lasting impact. And only 12% believe it is not clear the possible impact and its extent. 7% answered that connected insurance has already had a significant impact over the insurance sector, which makes me wonder if they are fellow Italians, as Italy, my knowledge, is currently the only market with the mainstream penetration of telematics, and Unipol, the market leader, with over 35% of its portfolio being policy that include the telematics component. We have then the two groups of optimists, which are divided in two halves, the ones that we deem very optimist, as they believe that the next 12 to 18 months will be sufficient and will be the inflection point in the adoption of connected insurance. And actually our view is that given the yearly cycle of the insurance business, it is quite difficult that significant changes will be achieved in the next 12 months. We heard also from the previous panel some views that predict changes to be fully reaped in the next 5 to 10 years. That seemed to be a more reasonable time horizon. Definitely, we're going to see a lot of innovations coming to the market. Hence, excuse me?
Why are they running the opposite way?
Yeah, that one is running the opposite way because he believes it's a fad, right? So he's not running towards the goal, right? Yes. Then there is one that is looking around, right, 12%, because it's not clear, so he's trying to decide if he wants to run on the left or on the right. Yes, it's kind of metaphor. I understand not that effective. Okay, thanks. Okay. And then we have the cautious optimists that believe it will take a few more years for connected insurance to become a mainstream phenomenon. And we tend to agree with this group of respondents. Okay, next question was what product area has been affected the most by connected insurance? And the following one, which is quite related, is what area will be affected the most in the next 12 to 18 months. So here we can see great awareness on the state of development of car insurance, which is widely considered already mature, and some expectation towards changes in the next 12 to 18 months. But we can see instead great expectation on health, which is not surprising if we consider that in the overall InsurTech space, there are more funded startups operating in health insurance than in all other insurance types combined. However, other than some popular cases and companies that follow the lead, we see a pretty limited number of initiatives, especially on loss control and value-added services. Given the structural hurdles in trying to pursue risk-based pricing and risk selection in health insurance, expectation in those areas should be a bit more limited, especially in the short term. Impact on home insurance so far is considered minimal, with minimal growth in the immediate future. However, we find this a bit surprising if we consider in some markets home insurance is already pretty advanced. For instance, 5 players have already launched home products in Italy, and 80% of the 30-plus participants to the Connected Insurance Observatory will launch a connected insurance policy within the next 12 months. Okay, next question is now, what is the most significant barrier to insurance adoption by incumbents? Let me recall that over 90% of the people in this room, including myself, raised their hands when I asked if we are actually social media users, right? So this number is quite coherent, even higher than studies that quantify the share of consumers willing to share their data between 70 and 90%, right? So I'm quite confident that you will agree with me. There is something weird in this data, and that privacy is the most abused reason to not innovate in the insurance industry. In fact, we just demonstrated together that compliance is not an issue as long as we are able to deliver practical, exceptional value to our customers. Then lack of strategy is a critical barrier. In our perception, often underestimated, as underestimated is the complexity of the insurance use cases, which require a deep understanding of the insurance industry and a creative approach to connect new customers' experiences with the insurer's bottom line. Equally surprising is the low importance placed on high cost or unclear economic value that, in our humble opinion, highlights how respondents are generally still in the prototyping phase of the innovation journey, as we witness several great solutions that struggle to generate enough value for customers that outweigh its costs. The most common example is home insurance, where there are multiple solutions already available, but even covering the hardware cost is everything but obvious. Okay, last. After looking at the challenges for incumbents, the last question moves the focal point to startups and asks the following. What is the most significant challenge for InsurTech startups? So these are the answers that finally present great news for insurers in the room. So in fact, unsurprisingly, insufficient knowledge and understanding of the insurance market is considered the most important challenge for InsurTech startups and creates an imperative for collaboration between incumbents and startups. Second barrier is the incapacity to engage and partner with incumbents, which in this case is good news for the organizers of today's event and the great choice of topics. And more in general, the point confirms the importance of all open innovation initiatives, from hackathons to co-creation labs, from incubators to accelerators, that are fundamental to allow startups to access incumbents and vice versa. So that's all for a brief survey. Okay, bring it back so you can take a picture. That's all for a brief survey. It's been conducted in the last 2 weeks by involving 120 respondents recruited through our InsurTechNews.com portal, the very first InsurTech portal, which was founded exactly a year ago this day, and is now visited by nearly 8,000 monthly users. As I conclude, I'd like to thank Gerben and the whole Singapore FinTech Consortium for the support in sharing the survey, for inviting me here to share the results. I hope you heard some stimulating thought, and I hope to meet you in the next 2 days. In particular, allow me to invite you to our presentation tomorrow at 5:20, the presentation of Neosurance, which is our award-winning virtual agent to sell micro-insurance with the push approach that will be presented for the first time in Asia. Thank you very much.